with 29 points. Tyler Camplin not far behind him with 17. And so this should be an excellent matchup. Both of these teams familiar with one another, familiar in the region. And Bob, this game could potentially become a matchup come regional tournament time, depending on how things shake out.
It's going to be an interesting contest. I think we have improved since we went over to Providence maybe 3 weeks ago, and I think we have a little bit more depth than we had that particular night. I thought Webster County played fairly well that night. They got a lot of production out of the two gentlemen that you just named, Chapman Ellis and Hunter Camplin. Caldwell County got its normal, typical, excellent performance out of Darren Boyd that night. So it's going to be an interesting game. I believe we handled the ball a little bit better, and you're right, we came down to having a three-point attempt at the final horn, but just before the final horn. If that goes down, we tie and go into overtime. But Caldwell County, it would be interesting to match to see Caldwell County only having 8 points in the second half. In the fourth quarter, both teams only score 4 points. Bella McConnell is the only Lady Tigers that scores in the second half. She has 8, 2 field goals, 4 out of 4 at the free throw line. The bright spot tonight is that she goes 6 for 6 at the free throw line. She finishes with 12 points, 5 points for Peyton Young, all coming in the first half, 4 points for Jada Boyd coming in the first half, and 6 points for J.C. Jaggers, all coming in the first half for the Tigers. Total of 27 points. The Tigers 6 out of 11 at the free throw line and helped immensely. In fact, Bella was the only Lady Tiger to make a free throw. For Webster County, they're led by Jessica Winders with 16 points, 12 first, 4 second, 13 points for Jamie Winstead, 3 in the first half, 10 in the second, 12 for Carly Keeney. Goes down to 5 points for Sadie Worth, 3 points for Marissa Austin, 4 points for Alyssa Payne, 2 points for Atlanta Eastwood, 3 points for Mariah Austin. All but 2 of the Lady Trojans that got in the game had points tonight. The Lady Tigers committing, by my count, 21 turnovers for the game. Webster County only 5 turnovers for the game. And you cannot win a basketball game over the last 3 quarters. We only scored 11 points, Eric. So, and we did not have an inside presence much tonight. So we really couldn't work the ball inside. It was just always around the perimeter, and they were closely guarding that. They rushed out to our shooters, so we were pretty well stymied. When they were in their zone and when they were in their man-to-man, we still couldn't get any decent type of attempt. We did miss about 3 wide-open layups tonight. So, but as I say, you're going to have games like that from time to time, and we just put that in the rearview mirror and go on and get ready to compete Tuesday night.
Definitely, and that's something, looking at both of these teams, both the Lady Tigers and the Tigers, this kind of seen as a tune-up match looking into next week. 2 big games against Madisonville North Hopkins on Tuesday, and then Hopkins County Central on Friday, and so both teams will look to try and get themselves any last-minute tune-ups before they get into the meat of that district play.
We know we've got some real tough teams in the second region, especially in Christian County with Christian County and Hopkinsville. After that, I think Caldwell County can make a run for the 3rd best team, the 4th best team in the region, and we've got the kids that are competing hard and trying to get that done.
Definitely, and we are about 2 minutes, 15 seconds away from tip-off. We'll go ahead and take a minute break and then bring you back in and get you ready for the announcement of the starters and tip-off. You've been listening to Tiger Basketball pregame here on 103.3 The Tiger.
I'm excited to share I'm moving my office to Oakland branch. That means the next time you're looking for a loan, whether big or small, you've got another convenient First Southern location. Be sure to stop by to see us the next time you're in town. First Southern National Bank has 2 branches in Caldwell County, 1013 West Main and 101 West Washington Street. Visit us online at www.ssmb.net. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409-424, NMLS 1628379.
It is time to update Penny Riley Electric member information. Update your member information on your monthly statement, or call Penny Riley Electric with the update information by April 30th, and be automatically eligible for 5 cash prizes of $100 and 20 billing credits of $50. But don't wait. Update by April 30th to be eligible to win cash prizes of $100, 5 of those, and Penny Riley Electric bill credits of $50, 20 of those. Update now with Penny Riley Electric, a Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And welcome back to the cab. We're about a minute away from the announcement of the starters in this nightcap of the 6th-7th District Challenge. This one will feature your Caldwell County Tigers taking on the Webster County Trojans. As both teams get set for this announcement, it should be an excellent matchup of some high school basketball tonight. No better way to spend a frigid night than in a nice warm gym.
And it's still 5 o'clock. Still, the night is still early, and we're about 23 seconds away from the starting lineups. As they will be introduced, we will give those to you. Another 3-man officiating crew, different from the crew that we had in the first game. And here we go. We're introducing the Webster County players. And the first the first Webster County player to come out. Number 2 will be Tyler Camplin coming out. Next up is number 4, Drew Skinner. 15 is Hunter Camplin being introduced. Number 23, their go-to guy, Chapman Ellis. And number 30, Malachi Douglas, rounds out the Webster County starting 5. And for the Caldwell County Tigers, number 2, Jameer Riley, first out. Number 4, Darren Boyd, next up to be introduced. Number 5, Jamarius Blaine. Number 20 coming out, John Davis. And number 22, Caden Fralix will get the start. Webster County already on the floor, ready for the jump ball. Caldwell County down underneath their basket, or I should say the Webster County basket for the first half. And getting fired up, and now they break huddle and move to the center court. And for the call here in game number 2 for the radio today, Tiger sportscaster Eric Jacobs.
Thanks, Bob. We are all set for tip. Looks like it's going to be Boyd and Ellis to take it for the Tigers and the Trojans. Whistle blows. We're all set for the 6-7 challenge. Tip is going to be won by the Tigers. Caden Fralix will hand it off to John Davis, who brings it over midcourt line. He's met quickly by Chapman Ellis. Davis goes left side to Boyd. Boyd working around a pick by Riley, gives it to Blaine. Blaine steps into the lane, kicks it out to Boyd. Straight away 3, money. Boyd coming out hot early, hits his first shot of the game, gives the Tigers an early 3-0 lead.
Great passing and an assist that time for Jamarius.
Webster County looking to answer. They'll feed it underneath the basket to Ellis, their leading scorer, who will bring it in for an early 2. Ellis really the key point in this offense for Webster County.
We stop him, we stop Webster County.
Blaine going one-on-one, works around a screen, cuts across top of the key. Now we'll get it to Davis. Davis holds, will hand it back to Blaine, who brings it back at the point. Blaine to Davis. Davis looking for something down low. Instead gets it on the right side of the lane to Fralix. Fralix hands off to Blaine. Trojans in a 2-3 zone to get this first quarter started. Tigers look to break it down. They find Fralix inside. Give it to Boyd. He'll hand it to Riley. Riley no look inside the lane to Fralix. Right-handed finger roll. No good. Rebounded by Ellis. Ellis in transition. Kicks it for Skinner. Skinner up, no good. Second, he's going to be fouled. Can't get it to drop, but that will send Drew Skinner to the line for the first time this evening for the Trojans. That foul being Caldwell County's first team foul will be Caden Freilic's first personal. Coming in to this matchup, Skinner shooting 80% from the line as he hits his first. Webster County, a very good free throw shooting team, as a team overall shooting 72%.
And that's very good for high school, Eric, really good.
Skinner back at the line, gets the roll, makes it 2 for 2. Webster County takes their first lead of the game, now up 4-3, 6:31 to go in the first quarter. Davis across the Tigers logo will hold. Davis, quick pass to Freilichs, who zips it into the corner for Blaine. Blaine back to Boyd. Boyd feeds it inside. Riley, no look out to Davis. 3-ball off the mark. Jamarius Blaine able to snatch away that rebound. Blaine gives it to Boyd. Boyd to Riley. Riley drives the lane, up with the right hand. Too strong, no good. That's rebounded by Douglas. Douglas in transition, trying to answer. Kick it out to Ellis. Free straightaway three. That doesn't move as it drops. Ellis, a pure shooter, puts that one in, extends the lead to 7-3. 5:46 to go in the first. If you're the Tigers, not the type of shot you want to see Ellis with this early in the game.
And that was from deep, too. That wasn't just your basic, just past the three-point line. That was about 5 feet, 6 feet deep.
Tigers looking to answer. Will swing it far side to Davis into the corner for Blaine. Blaine back to Davis at the point. They'll work it around the horn, right corner to Boyd. Boyd pump fakes, thinks about driving, is turned away, returns it to the point. That ball back to him, feeds it inside to Riley. Riley, a lot of pressure around him, is forced into the turnover. So it will be a Trojan ball. We're going to have a 30-second timeout taken by Coach K and crew. And really the start to this game, we saw this a lot in the girls match of the first one. When that ball's fed inside, Webster collapses into that post, and Jabir having a tough time working whenever it's 1-on-3.
A tough time, but he's so strong that he's putting a lot of force up with the shot that he didn't make that time. He walked the last time, but the time before he had a really nice look at the basket, but shot it too hard, and it just did not find the bottom of the net. And that, again, they really are active on defense, Webster County. Both the Lady Trojans and the Trojans are. And you're right, we don't want to leave Chapman Ellis open from 25 to 30 feet either.
Coming into this game, Ellis averaging 20 points. Pretty impressive. He's matched on the other side by Boyd for the Tigers. We're back in action. Webster County, Ellis cutting deep back door, able to put that one up and in. Extends the lead to 9-3.
And you can't lose him on defense either.
Made a heads-up play there, cut right through the back of that lane on the baseline, was able to put it up and in. Tigers now trail by 6, 4:51 to go. Tigers work around the perimeter, feed it inside, no look back to Davis, they'll kick it out to Blaine. Tigers moving the ball around quickly around the arc. Freilichs takes a three for himself, no good. Boyd able to get that rebound. They'll kick it out to Davis, left corner, 3-ball, money. 3-point shootout so far. Tigers, all their points coming from beyond the arc here in the first quarter. They trail by 3. Ellis is going to drive, puts it up, and Ellis picking up an offensive foul. Heads up play there by John Davis to get his feet set and absorb the impact. So that ball will go the other way. Ellis will be given his first foul of the game. Trojans with their first team foul.
That may be what our strategy is, trying to get him in foul trouble.
Davis across midcourt, swings it over to Blaine. Blaine to Boyd at the point. They'll play catch as Boyd tries to zip it inside for Freilichs. Freilichs, athletic play to keep that ball in, which opens up a Davis 3 from straight away, and John Davis 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. We've got a tie ball game at 9. And just like that, the Tigers have answered.
A great play by Caden Freilichs on that, saving the ball. Just very acrobatic.
Trojans working around, try and feed it inside for Ellis. That's going to be picked off by Jameer Riley. Riley across midcourt to Boyd. Fakes it to Davis. Davis open 3, left corner. John Davis on fire from beyond the arc, as we're going to have a 30-second timeout taken by the Trojans. And a lot of that to the credit of the 3-point shooting by John Davis.
Well, that makes grandmother happy.
Davis just absolute think you could see the smoke off his hands when he released that one. Three
Missed
for
the first
three.
one and then hit the next three in a row. And that might force Webster out of their zone. You shoot zones away by being able to hit from outside, but the Tigers really closing fast here to take this 3-point lead.
And Davis with 9 of the 12 points for the Tigers here early on, and that's always something that's got to make you smile as a fan or a coach whenever you light it up from the outside like that.
I would say he's feeling it right now, Eric.
I would say so.
I would think Darian is feeling it as well.
So 2 hot hands at the moment for the Tigers. They've taken the lead 12-9, 3:30 to go in this first quarter. Trojans in possession. Camplin will hold. He'll hand it off to Skinner. Skinner to Douglas. Douglas looking to drive left side of the lane, puts it up over the outstretched hands of Boyd to cut the deficit to 1. Tigers up 12-11, 3:14. Davis across midcourt's going to give it to Blaine. Blaine will hold to Boyd. Boyd swings it right side for Davis. Fakes the 3, feeds it inside to Riley. No look baseline. Excellent cut made there by Caden Fralix. Across the baseline, puts it up and in. Tigers up again by 3. The Tigers exuding a lot of confidence when they're in possession of the ball at the moment. Camplin tries to feed it down low. Riley tried to save it. Couldn't quite get those toes inbound, and so Webster County will maintain possession. Couple of substitutions. Grant Nance coming into the game, as well as Hunter McNaughton. Webster 2 inbound. They get it to the big man McNaughton, who spins, put it up and in. Webster looking like they're opting to go with a little bigger of a lineup early on in the game. McNaughton definitely a size advantage down low for the Trojans. Tigers now will work it around the perimeter. They'll find Davis. Davis feeds it inside to Fralix, kicks it out for Riley. Riley will start the swing around to the right corner for Boyd, skips it to Fralix. Fralix surrounded by Trojans, able to get it out. Blaine tries to drive, his pass tipped. He's able to fix that mistake and pick it up himself. Everyone will take a deep breath and reset as Davis holds and zips it over to Blaine, now down in the corner for Riley. Tigers a lot of quick ball movement to start this ball game. Davis holds. He gets it to Riley. No look to Blaine. A lot of contact and the block. That ball goes out. I think they may credit some of that to the size difference between Blaine and Ellis.
Maybe he swallowed his whistle on that and couldn't blow it.
Maybe.
It was
Instead, the Tigers maintain possession, and credit to Blaine for getting up on that one. That's the kind of hit to leave you out of breath. Riley drives, leads it over to Fralix, puts it up no good. McNaughton snatches away the rebound. He'll get it to Camplin. Camplin quickly to Nance. Nance's shot rejected. Jameer Riley coming through the lane to put that one away. Tigers quick transition. Boyd floats it up for 2. And the Tigers able to capitalize off of that Jameer Riley block. Now extend their lead back to 3, 16-13, a minute 21. A lot of credit to Jameer Riley on that one. High flying to send that one back the other way. Nance feeds it inside for the big man McNaughton. Puts it up no good. Off the ensuing rebound, we're going to have a foul. That foul going against Marius Blaine. That will put McNaughton at the line. McNaughton coming into this game shooting 77% from the line. His first one off the back of the iron, no good. So we're going to have a substitution for the Tigers. Caden Fralix will take a seat, and Seth Scott, the sophomore, will come in to replace him. And a substitution for the Trojans as well. Looks like Aiden Wynn into the game for the first time for the Trojans.
Second free throw is missed by McNaughton, so the Tigers still have their three-point lead.
Tigers hold 56 seconds. They work the ball around the perimeter. Try and feed it inside for Scott. That ball's going to be tipped away to the hands of Ellis. Ellis, coast to coast, into the lane, is going to kick it out for Nance. Nance has that ball stripped. Boyd gets it, feeds it up to Davis for the fast break. Davis up, right-handed in. John Davis extending the lead to 18-13, 35 seconds. Tigers with all kinds of confidence here in this first quarter. Played a heck of a game to this point. Trojans will hold. Tyler Camplin content to stand at the Tiger logo, let some of this time bleed off the clock as we're under 20 seconds. Caldwell County setting up in a 2-3 zone for the final 10 seconds.
And we better find Ellis.
Camplin will hold, and you got to think Ellis. There he is with the ball. Gets it to McNaughton. McNaughton looks to return it. Ellis contested shot over the outstretched hands of Scott, able to put it away. Long throw by Boyd off the glass, and after 1 quarter of play, it's Caldwell County 18, Webster County 15. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with the second quarter. You're listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 The Tiger.
Company is a full-service local and family-owned propane company offering services in Princeton, Cadiz, Madisonville, and Murray. Right now, Porter Gas is offering specials on propane. Porter Gas offers Holland and Napoleon grills, Dixie choppers, and they also have Red Max weed eaters. Contact Porter Gas Company today for all of your residential, commercial, and agricultural propane needs. Porter Gas Company, a family tradition of service since 1951.
This is Carol at the Woodall Agency at 110 West Washington Street in the heart of downtown Princeton. Our agency is proud to have been a part of this community since 1907. We want you to come by and see us soon. We may be able to save you some money on your home, auto, motorcycle, or mobile home insurance. We offer discounts for good students, multi-policy, safe drivers, and many more. We appreciate our loyal customers, and we will work hard to make you feel like part of the Woodall Agency family. Call me today at 365-5541.
And we're back here at the cab, ready for the start of the second quarter, and to inbound the ball. Webster County will inbound it side midcourt, and to take us through the second quarter, here's Eric Jacobs.
Thanks, Bob. We're all set for the second quarter. Action-packed first quarter. Tigers come away with the 18-15 lead. Webster County in possession to try and cut into the deficit. Camplin will hold, tries to find Ellis in the lane, has that ball picked by Davis. Davis tries to skip it inside for Fralix. Loose ball picked up by Camplin. He'll give it to Nance. Nance coming back the other way for the Trojans. And instead, he gets that ball to McNaughton. McNaughton's foot on the baseline, so that will be a Trojan turnover. Caldwell County with the ball.
4 turnovers for the Trojans, 3 for the Tigers.
Tigers to bring it out of the back court. Boyd will hold.
And the Trojans are out of their zone. Oh, they're back into it.
Fralix feeds it inside to Riley. Riley, quick pass to the big man, Seth Scott, goes up and puts away 2. Tigers now up by 5, 7:19 to go in the first. The Tigers are doing a nice job offensively, moving that ball around quickly. Has been able to break down that Webster County zone. Camplin skips it for Nance. Nance finds Ellis on the baseline. Ellis floats it high back to the point to Camplin. They'll kick it out to Douglas. Douglas for 3. That one up and in. Tigers lead cut to 2. 6:51 to go in the second quarter. Davis to bring it across the Tiger logo out of the backcourt. We'll go right side to Fralix. Fralix side of the circle gives it to Riley. He'll return it back to Fralix. He'll drive, kicks it out to Davis. Open look for 3. John Davis feeling it from the outside. But we had a foul called as the shot was in the air. So we'll count the basket, and it looks like we'll have a foul on the floor. That foul going against Chapman Ellis will be his second, will be the team's second. And so all-around good play if you're the Tigers. A big three-point shot and a foul on arguably Webster County's biggest offensive threat.
I just saw Caden Fralix go down, but I was watching the flight of the ball.
And John Davis absolutely on fire. Inbound pass. That foul makes it a 5-point play. As Darren Boyd able to come up and get an easy layup. Tigers now up 25-18. Camplin will hold. We'll give it right side to Ellis. Ellis working around the screen, returns it. They feed it inside to Nance. Nance up, rejected. Oh, and a foul called. We'll have to see who they credit that one to. Riley and Scott both go up for it. And they're going to give the foul to Jameer Riley. From the angle up here, looked like it was a clean block.
Looked pretty good to me, too.
Instead, they're going to say there was a little contact, and that's going to send Nance to the line for 2. Nance is first up and in. Grant Nance coming into this game shooting over 50%, a stat you don't normally see looking at Webster County's logo or stat record. Every player that has shot free throws over 50%. Nance's second up and in. He goes 2 for 2 from the line, makes it a 5-point game. Tigers up 25-20, 6:13 to go. Little issue with the clock. It's not running yet. I'm sure someone will notice that shortly. The Tigers work the ball around. They get it to Boyd. Boyd will hold, goes to Riley.
Clock. Somebody ought to be hollering clock.
I don't think anyone's picked up on it as of yet. The clock's still stuck on 6:13. Seems like we always have at least one instance with the clock or power or something or another. This one,
now it's going.
Now the clock's going. Riley, 3. This one shy. Freilich able to scoop away the rebound. Foul off that ensuing rebound. Looks like that foul is going to go against Hunter Camplin, number 15. Camplin will pick up his first of the game. He's going to be replaced now by Hunter McNaughton. Tigers to inbound. They get it to Davis. Swing it around the right side. Looks like we're going to have a foul called against the Tigers. That foul against Seth Scott down low. Scott will pick up his first, the team's third. Now Webster County in possession, 5:57 on the clock.
I think they got the fouls reversed.
Webster County working around. They'll feed it to McNaughton. McNaughton baseline is going to be fouled by Seth Scott. So Scott will pick up a quick second foul. That will send McNaughton back to the line. McNaughton looking to whittle away this 5-point lead the Tigers currently hold. McNaughton's first up. Rattles around the rim, can't find it to drop. So the 5-point lead remains. McNaughton back at the line. Puts this one up and in. Got a 4-point ball game. Tigers still with the lead. 5:44 to go. Davis to bring it out of the backcourt. Give it to Boyd. Boyd floats it for Freilich, right side of the perimeter. Freilich's inside to Riley. Riley swarms, going to kick it out to Boyd. Boyd puts up a 3. This one off the mark. Tyler Camplin able to corral the rebound. Camplin leaves it over for Douglas. He'll return it back to the point. Tigers still in a 2-3 zone here in the second quarter. Camplin looking to drive, throws it right into the hands of Boyd. Boyd some quick handles, able to get it around 2 Webster County players. Lost control of it there for a minute, but good hands to corral it. He'll get it over to Davis. Davis to Boyd. Boyd holds to Scott, left elbow, tries to return it, pass is tipped. Darren Boyd, athletic play, able to come up and hold on to possession for the Tigers. Freilich has it now at the point. Freilich will hold, goes right side to Davis. Davis, top of the key to Riley, feeds it down low for Scott, tries to kick it out for Boyd, tiptoeing across the line, able to keep it in bounds. Boyd tries to find Seth Scott cutting on the back door, comes off of his hands and out. Will be a Tiger turnover, substitution for the Tigers. Seth Scott's going to be checked out. He'll be replaced by the freshman, Jamarius Blaine. 4:30 to go here in the second quarter of this 6-7 district challenge here at the Cab at Caldwell County High School. Tigers with a 25-21 lead. Chapman Ellis, if I'm not mistaken, Grant Nance for the Trojans will have it. They'll swing it out for Douglas. Douglas holds, he'll return it to Camplin. Camplin at the point, is going to be met by Davis, tries to feed it down low for McNaughton. McNaughton looking for a cutting run, not there, he'll drive it himself. Hand it off to Douglas. Douglas skips it back inside, McNaughton able to put it up and in. 2-point lead now for the Tigers, who are up 25-23, 3:45 to go in the first half. Bob, a lot of back and forth action in this one.
It's going to be a very entertaining basketball game, as the first one was.
A lot of what we thought this game would be, a close one in Dixon. This one equally as close to this point. Blaine holds one-on-one with Nance. They'll dish it over to Davis into the corner for Boyd. Boyd holds, gets it back to John Davis. They'll swing it around. Good hands to maintain possession by Blaine. Back now to the left side to Boyd. Boyd feeds it inside to Riley. Riley's pass to Boyd. Boyd's going to be fouled. That shot off the mark, but that will send Darren Boyd to the line for the Tigers. Boyd coming into this game of excellent free throw shooter. He leads the team at 81%. Also the team's leading scorer coming into games averaging 22 as he nets his first. Boyd really having him a standout year this year for the Tigers. Boyd second up, he goes perfect from the line, makes it a 27-23 game, 3:07 to go in the first half. Camplin across midcourt for the Trojans. He'll hold, gives it to McNaughton. McNaughton looks for a run, instead will give it to Nance, who returns it back to Camplin high. Camplin, one-on-one, thinks about driving, hands it off to Nance, who's pushed away. They'll rotate it around. A three put up by Camplin, off the mark. Boyd comes crashing down with the rebound. Boyd, coast to coast, skips it over to Riley. Baseline up, off the mark. Boyd can't get the putback. Rebound snatched away by McNaughton. McNaughton hands to Camplin. Spin move by Camplin, up. A lot of contact, that's out. And an appeal for a charge, and I think you've got a... How no call was made on that is really surprising. John Davis in an excellent position. Looked like he was set for a while. Ate the contact and no whistle either way. Instead, the ball goes out. Webster County will maintain possession. Bob, you don't see that one often. A lot of contact like that, no whistle whatsoever.
Well, they've swallowed it a couple times so far tonight, Eric.
And that's when you even wonder, even if it's a block, it's at least enough contact to warrant a call.
Exactly. It could.
Long three put up. That one's short by Douglas. Riley comes crashing down. We're going to have a foul off the rebound. It's going to go against the Trojans. It'll be the Trojans. Foul on Hunter McNaughton. That will be the 5th team foul for the Trojans. McNaughton's first. 2:11 to go. Tigers up 27-23. Look to extend this lead on this possession. Blaine floats it high. That one, I'm not sure if Shaq could have come away with that one. Just a little high over the head of John Davis.
John needed a lot of spring in his legs.
He
needed a trampoline over there.
Trampoline or about 8 more inches in height. That one goes out. Will be Trojans' ball.
But we didn't come meet the ball. That's the reason for that turnover.
Trojans working around the perimeter. They'll go right side to Douglas. Douglas pump fake. Athletically keeps his feet on that one. Looking to find some help. We'll kick it back to Nance. Nance to Douglas. Douglas holds, calls for a screen. We'll work around that one. Picked up quickly by Fralix. Working now left side to Skinner. Skinner holds to McNaughton. McNaughton right side to Nance. Nance holds. We'll get this one to Wynn, and Wynn's going to be fouled by Blaine. That will be the Tigers' 6th team foul. Checking into the game will be Darius Riley for the first time tonight. He'll replace Jamarius Blaine. And the Tigers, to their credit, really looking good defensively on this possession. Quick to meet the ball in any situation and causing some headaches for this Trojan offense. Feed it inside, mismatch down low. McNaughton was double teamed, was able to feed it over to Wynn. Wynn puts it away, cuts the deficit back down to 2.
And we're not being able to take advantage of Chapman Ellis being out of the lineup. That's
credit some of that to the size that McNaughton brings. When he got it down low, Tigers tried to come in and double team him and got that opening for Wynn. Now Fralix down low, able to work around the big man and put 2 up. Tigers extend the lead back to 4. 42 seconds to go in the half. Douglas for the Trojans goes right side of the arc. Works around the screen, tries to feed it down low for McNaughton. McNaughton rolling off of that pick, wasn't quite ready for it. So instead will be a turnover. Tigers will have the ball for the last 30 seconds of the half. Tigers looking to extend a 29-25 point lead, now 22 seconds. Davis holds at the Tigers' head at midcourt. He lets a little more of this time bleed off. Now at 11 seconds. Hands it off to Boyd. Boyd one-on-one around the screen. Boyd drives, right-hand floater, gets it to drop. 2 seconds, one. Last second shot put up by Douglas. That one just a little short. And after one half of play, a strong half by the Tigers, who lead 31-25 over the Webster County Trojans. We'll take a 3-minute break and be back with your halftime stats and analysis. You're listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
It's me, Colonel Sanders. My KFC $20 fill-up includes a whole bucket of delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, 2 sides of mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, and 4 flaky biscuits for just $20. It'll feed 4 people. And it comes with a free bucket. And every time you use that bucket, you'll be reminded of how delicious that meal was. Now that's fact. KFC, it's finger-licking good. Now, participating KFCs for a limited time. Prices may vary. Tax extra. Extra charge for breast piece and side item substitution may apply. Offer includes 8-piece chicken, 3 large size, 4 biscuits.
Director Group Heating and Air, we are so proud to be a part of this community. We want to thank you for the opportunity to serve you for all your heating and air needs. McGregor Group Heating and Air specializes in residential, new construction, and light commercial installation. Also servicing most makes and models. We offer fast service with polite and friendly staff. We provide our customers with a peace of mind by offering the best warranties in the industry, along with high-quality products. McGregor Group Heating and Air is located at 960 Varmint Trace here in Princeton. Give us a call today at 270-896-5044. We're the company that you can take comfort in. Have you been a victim of debit or credit card fraud? Farmers Bank and Trust can help lessen your risk of getting taken advantage of. As our customer, you have exclusive access to a security feature in our app that will allow you to turn your debit card off while you're not using it, then turn it on instantly when you need to use it. Keep your information safe. Log into our free app to use this feature, increasing the security of your information right now. Not a Farmers Bank customer? Come down. Let us set up your account and start protecting you from potential fraud opportunities. This is not a guarantee that your information will not be compromised. This is an increased security measure. Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the Law Office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement. Happy New Year from Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Hi, this is Pam Havelock. We are so excited at the new year, 2018. We are having for the month of January a 2018 sale. 20% off our boutique and 18% off the store and special orders. Remember, we have a 90-day LOA and financing is available. It is a great time to come to Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. We're located at 235 Northville Drive, right next to the bowling alley. Cozy Living Interiors, it's everything a home should be.
Prearranged funeral planning gives you real peace of mind. At Morgan's Funeral Home, we can help you plan your final arrangements in advance and make your wishes known. We'll assist you in making the choices and selections that reflect your wishes and help you put them in writing so that we'll leave no doubt. Morgan's Funeral Home, serving families for over 100 years.
Another year has come and gone, and all of us at Fredonia Valley Bank want to thank everyone for another year of being able to serve you in a community where old-fashioned values and neighbor helping neighbor is still a common practice. 2018 marks our 124th year in helping people in our surrounding communities as well as our local community with their financial decisions. We take great pleasure in knowing we have helped many people over the years and developed lasting relationships along the way. Fredonia Valley Bank feels we owe our gratitude and continued success to our customers because without you, we could not be where we are today. Fredonia Valley Bank wishes everyone the best of health,
happiness, and blessings throughout the new year, and invite you to drop by and feel the warmth of a real community bank. Fredonia Valley Bank is located at 602 Cassidy Avenue, Fredonia, and 226 Commerce Street, Eddyville. Member FDIC and equal house.
And welcome back to the Cap, where it is halftime. Action-packed first half saw the Tigers come out with a 31-25 lead. A lot of back-and-forth action, but really the story for the Tigers, good defense, limiting some chances, some early foul trouble for the Trojans, and then the hot hand of John Davis and Darren Boyd from outside the perimeter, really the highlights of that first half.
Second half is going to be just as interesting as the first half, Eric, because they'll have Ellis back in there saving him, protecting him with only 2 fouls. So it's going to get, and it might be better to have him in there because we didn't play very well down in the low block with the bigger guys in there. So maybe that could help us out. But the Tigers outscoring the Trojans 18-15 in the first quarter and outscoring them 13-10 in the second quarter. Both quarters with a 3-point margin to take a 6-point lead here at halftime, 31-25. And for the Tigers, John Davis, as mentioned, with 14 points, 1 2-point field goal, 4 threes for his total of 14, 11 points for Darren Boyd on 3 2-point field goals, 1 3, 2 out of 2 from the free throw line for his 11, 4 points for Caden Fralix on a couple nice moves down low in the post, 2 points for Seth Scott, also a nice move down in the low block to get a pass and lay it in. Tigers total of 31 points here. The Tigers only been to the line twice in the first half, and they go 2 for 2 for 100%. For Webster County, pretty evenly distributed. They are led by Chapman Ellis, who sat on the bench for a lengthy part of the second quarter. He has 9 points, a lot of them coming early in the game. He has 3 2-pointers and 1 3 for his 9. 5 points for Malachi Douglas on a 2-pointer and a 3-pointer. 5 points for Hunter McNaughton on 2 2-point field goals and 1 out of 4 from the charity stripe. 2 points for Aiden Wynn and 2 points for Drew Skinner for the total of 25 points for the Webster County Trojans. Webster County is 5 out of 8 from the free throw line. Not shooting their average, but they are a good free throw shooting team. The Tigers with 5 3-pointers in the first half to only 2 for Webster County. Turnovers about the same. I have Webster with 6, the Tigers with 5. So we've got to protect the ball here in the second half, Eric, and know where Mr. Chapman is at all times.
And it should be a really exciting half. I know this game last time came down, as we mentioned, to a 3-point play. If that one goes in for the Tigers, you never know what happens in overtime. And this one kind of shaping up to be the same type of barn burner, maybe the home court advantage coming into play a little bit here for the Tigers. But overall, a very exciting game to watch. And if you're Caldwell County, you've got to be happy with that first half performance. But the key to this one is just you can't let up. You've got to keep the good shooting to continue. And really one of the keys for the Tigers defensively has been, I think this is maybe one of the games where I've seen them move to the ball the fastest defensively, and that pressure has disrupted a little bit of the flow for the Trojans.
I think we've caused them a little bit of anxiety a little bit. They've handled the ball to their credit. They haven't turned it over that much with the guarding that we're giving them. But as I mentioned earlier, we have to know where Ellis is at all times in the second half. When he gets hot, he really gets hot. So, and we have to play heads-up basketball. Look for the open man, not try to make too many or not any heroic passes, just good, solid bounce passes when they're there, and able to, hopefully we can finish in the third quarter if we get those balls inside.
So we are about a minute 11 away from the start of the half. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second break, and then we'll bring you back and be ready for the second half of action. You've been listening to the Tigers halftime show here on 103.3 The Tiger.
electric plant board. Meter tampering is dangerous. Tampering with an electric meter is not only dangerous, it is dishonest and against the law. Stealing electricity by tampering with an electric meter may result in your arrest and can even risk your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with an electric meter, call the Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 energy source.
And welcome back here to the Cab. We're just about through with halftime, 20 seconds remaining. The Tigers will inbound the ball side midcourt, and will be coming our way here in the second half. And for the call here in the third quarter, here's Eric Jacobs.
Thanks, Bob. We are all set. Tigers hanging on to a 31-25 point lead as we get this third quarter underway. A lot of action in the first, looking for a lot of the same in the second. The Tigers come out with their starting five as well as Webster. Tigers in possession. Boyd has it at the point. He'll go to Blaine. Webster still in that 2-3 zone. They find a Davis cutting through the lane. He goes up and is fouled in the process, so an early foul against the Trojans will send John Davis to the line. That foul coming against number 4, Drew Skinner. Skinner giving the team their first of the half, his second personal foul. Davis from the line leaves the first just shy, but we'll try and make it a 50%. Coming into this one, John Davis shooting 57%. Hits his second and makes it 1-2, extends the lead to 32-25. 7:42 to go here early on in the second half of play. Camplin will go one-on-one with Blaine. They try and feed it inside to Skinner, tipped away, odd man break. They get it to Blaine. Blaine high flying, right hand up and in. Tigers off to a quick start, now up 9, as we're going to have a quick 30-second timeout taken by Webster County. And Bob, not a bad way to start if you're the Tigers.
No, pressure defense on that particular play, knocking the ball loose. Darian Boyd picking it up and bringing it down the floor. Another assist for Darian, and you got to hand Jamarius a lot of credit on that. He hung in midair till his defensive guy went past him and was able to shoot and uncontested, and the ball obviously goes in for a 9-point lead here for the Tigers.
And one thing we talk about a lot with these Tigers, we usually see games like this and success like this whenever they play as a team. And that's something that they 100% have done tonight, have really come out firing on all cylinders. And that play, a play that involved everyone, about 3 or 4 hands touched that ball before it ended up in the bottom of the basket.
Teamwork is one of the staples, I think, of this team as well.
Ellis driving along the baseline, goes up, pressure by Riley, forced that one off the mark. Tigers look to break quickly. They go to Boyd in the corner. He drives baseline. Errant pass to Riley. Now Ellis in a 1-on-2 goes up with Davis, able to put that one away and finish. Cuts the deficit to 34-27, Tigers lead. Davis and the Tigers across midcourt looking to answer. They'll float it to Blaine on the far side. Blaine to Boyd. He'll hold, goes inside to Riley. Riley over the top, trying to get fancy, throws it right to Ellis, who in return taking control for the Trojans. Already 4 points here in the second half.
And that's the kind of passing that we do not need, that back over the head, no look type pass, which Jameer just did.
Turned it over, and another no look. Fortunate that one went off the foot of Ellis. Davis able to corral. Blaine has an open look for a 3, won't take it. Now he'll get it returned, comes to Davis. They'll swing it left corner for Boyd. Boyd floats it high. Now Blaine for 3. High arcing ball. Jamarius Blaine, nothing but net. Puts it away. A little bit of string music on that one. A pure shot as the Tigers go up.
You can't leave him open. He has a lot of arch on his ball.
A lot of arch. A good-looking shot. Made it 37-29. 5:55 to go in the third. We're going to have a ball that's deflected. Have a substitution now. Darius Riley comes in. He will replace Jameer Riley. I think you got to think may have a little discussion with him on the types of passes being made on the floor. And that's one thing. You've got to find a balance. You like the creativity at the same time. It's got to be almost creativity with a little caution. Trojans to inbound. They'll feed it inside to Camplin. Camplin tries to skip it back. for Skinner. That's going to be picked off by Boyd. Boyd in transition, one-on-one, kicks it out to Fralix. Pump fake, drives, back to Boyd, middle of the key, up, no good. Going to be rebounded by Camplin. Quick transition for the Trojans. Ellis has that ball tipped away, and good defensive transition there by Darren Boyd, able to go from end to end after that shot and swat the ball away from Chapman Ellis.
Tigers back quickly on that particular play.
Ensuing inbound, heads up defense there by the sophomore Fralix. He knocks it out of bounds. Trojans still maintain possession, down 37-29. Ball into Douglas. Douglas will kick it out to Ellis. Straightaway three. Ellis not missing many of those. And Chapman Ellis, really the story for the Trojans, keeping them in the game here in the second half.
7 points so far here in the second half, and he's the only one that scored for Webster County here in the second half.
Tigers look to answer that Ellis three as they work the ball around. Blaine cutting through the lane, somehow ended up with the ball. Davis finds the open lane, drives, will be fouled, and he will go back to the line for two. That foul coming against Drew Skinner. Heads up play by Davis, had an open shot, instead opted to drive, ended up drawing the foul, and he'll go back to the line to earn his two. Davis first is off the mark. Jameer Riley will check back in the game. He'll replace Jamarius Blaine. Davis 0-1 on this attempt. Back at the line to take his second. This one's up. Rattles around, no good. Contested rebound. Camplin comes away with it, is all over the floor. And we'll have a jump ball. Possession to go with Webster County. That one a little all over the place. That thought maybe that ball would pop out. Instead, both players able to hold on to it.
I was almost afraid they would call a foul on Darren on that, because
a lot of rolling around on that one.
He had to go through the man to get to the ball.
Tigers still lead 37-32. 4:51 to go in the third. Nance kicks it out to Ellis. Three from the corner. Ellis on fire here in this third quarter. The only scorer for Webster County, and is lighting it up from anywhere he decides to take a shot. Cuts the deficit down to two. As we mentioned, that's kind of the key to that Trojan offense, and he's showcasing his skills early on. Darius Riley able to get the ball out of pressure to John Davis at the point. The Tigers hold on to a 2-point lead. Riley holds, gets it back to Boyd. Boyd finds the gap, gets it to Riley. Jumper, rattles around and in. Shootout starting to develop here in this second half. A lot of back and forth. The big man McNaughton is going to feed it to Nance. Nance drives in. That ball is going to be tipped out of the hands of Hunter Camplin. Trojans will maintain. But the Tigers doing a good job defensively inside the lane. Not a lot of points coming from there. Instead, kind of those 15, 18-foot jumpers. Ellis holds. He goes to Camplin. Camplin finds some space, drives. Going to be some contact. It looks like Jameer Riley is going to pick up the foul for the Tigers. That will be the Tigers' first team foul. Will be Riley's first. Trojans inbound. Go to the corner to Douglas. He feeds it to Camplin. Kicks it out for Ellis. Open three. And Ellis, I'm not sure if he's missed an opportunity he's had from outside the perimeter. He's just been lighting it up. Makes it a 1-point game. And Chapman Ellis really the thing keeping Webster County close in this one. Tigers work the ball around the perimeter. Tried to feed it inside for Riley. Bailed out as it comes off the hands of Camplin. So it looks like Jude East is going to check into the game for Darius Riley. Get a little more size. Tigers going with a taller lineup now.
Actually, I think that's Trip Branch.
Or it's Trip Branch, my mistake. Trip Branch into the game. The freshman Branch getting his first varsity action of the evening. Tigers work it around the perimeter. Comes inside off the face of Camplin. Ball still squirting around on the ground. You got to think that's got to be a jump ball. A lot of credit to Trip Branch fighting off three Trojans to hang on to that ball and keep possession for the Tigers.
Tough little play made by Trip that time. Took a lot of contact to the facial area.
Tigers inbound. Get it to Jameer Riley at the point. Riley picking up some steam into the lane. Tries to skip it for Fralix. Misses the mark, and that one out. With this possession, Webster County will have the opportunity to take the lead for the first time since the first half. You've got to think on this possession. You have got to know where Chapman Ellis is. Has really been the star of the third quarter. Ball now in his hands. Loses it. That's going to be picked up by Douglas. Douglas Euro step into the lane. Up with the contact. Count the basket. And so Webster County now up 40-39 with the chance to make it 2. And a big play there for the Trojans. That foul going against John Davis. It will be Davis's first.
He looked like he walked as he turned to go to the basket on that particular drive.
Second, one of those, call that the NBA step almost. It's in that gray area as he hits it to make it a three-point play. Webster County now with their first lead of the second half, up 41-39. Tigers look to respond. Boyd. Pass is going to be tipped off the hands of Ellis, comes off the hands of Riley, and will be a Webster County ball. We're going to have a full timeout taken by Coach K and the Tigers. With that timeout, we'll go ahead and take a 30-second break as well and be back with the final 2:33 of the third quarter. You've been listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 The Tiger.
New car buyers, listen up. We need to move our new car and truck inventory fast, and we need your trade. At Trojans Incorporated, we know the dollar is tight, but there's never been a better time to buy a new vehicle. With fantastic rebates, low rates, awesome trade allowance, and 7 American car lines to choose from, Trojans Incorporated is sure to fit you with the perfect vehicle at a price that's pleasing. And as always, if we don't have what you want on our lot, we'll find it for you. Don't go out of town for a good deal. Stay in town for a great deal. Tri-Cube Incorporated, where your trade is worth more.
And welcome back here to the CAB third quarter. 2 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. So far here in the third quarter for Webster County, it's been the Chapman Ellis show. He has 13 of their 16 points here. Webster County up now 41-39. 2-point lead. Webster County will inbound the ball side backcourt and bring it to front court, and for the call, here's Tiger sportscaster Eric Jacobs.
Thanks, Bob. We're back in action. Tigers now trail 41-39. 2:27 to go in the third quarter. Ellis looking to drive, kicks it off. 3 taken by Douglas off the mark. High flying Jameer Riley snatches that ball away. Riley quickly, coast to coast, floats it up and in. Jameer Riley knocks it up at 41. Nice play there from the junior.
Tigers have come out and into a man-to-man.
It's like one-on-one. Nance throws it out for Douglas. Douglas gets it to Camplin. Camplin will hand it back to Nance.
Now they're back in their zone.
Nance will hold, gives it to the point to McNaughton. McNaughton to Ellis. Ellis to Camplin. Trojans working around the outside of the perimeter, trying to break down this Tiger D. Nance, one-on-one, Riley on him quickly, find the big man McNaughton. He tries to back his way in, hands it off to Camplin. Camplin, floater, baseline, no good. Jameer Riley corrals it. 2-on-1 situation, Boyd goes the length, lays it up, gets it to roll, and the Tigers retake the lead, 43-41, a minute 19. Chapman Ellis will leave it off for Nance. Nance holds. Looks to work around a pick set by McNaughton. Nance is going to draw a little bit of contact as he drove down the left side of the lane. Looks like that foul will go against the sophomore Caden Fralix. Tigers will pick up their third team foul. Fralix will pick up his second of the game. Trojans inbound. Comes to the corner to Douglas. Douglas will drive. He's going to be fouled. And we're going to have a technical called. That foul will go against Trip Branch. And it looks like the tee went against
Webster, but I don't know.
Webster will get that as soon as we get it up.
Did it go against 30?
Looks like it goes against Malachi Douglas. So Douglas being hit with the technical must have been something he said after that foul. So instead, Darren Boyd at the line to shoot the 2 for the technical. Hits his first. Back for his second. Almost automatic is Boyd from the line. He goes 2 for 2. Tigers will maintain possession of the ball with that technical foul. And a good break for the Tigers off of that tee.
Exactly.
2 points, maintain possession. Branch gives over to Davis. Davis to Boyd. Boyd will get it back to Branch. Branch double teamed. Bring it to Davis. Davis zips it back to Branch. Branch 3-ball. Rattles around, no good. Contested rebound. McNaughton comes away and he is fouled. That foul going to go against John Davis. Davis picking up his second foul will be the Tigers' 5th team foul. 43 seconds to go in the third. Tigers holding on to a 4-point lead. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Nance to bring it across midcourt for the Trojans. Nance gives it over to McNaughton. McNaughton zips it to Ellis. Ellis back to Camplin. Camplin will get it to Douglas. Douglas now to McNaughton to Nance. Nance right side of the perimeter, trying to find some space, 15 seconds. Got to think the Trojans in this situation looking for their star player, Chapman Ellis. Nance is going to drive. Instead, Nance throws it up, taking some contact from Trip Branch. And that will send Nance to the line. Branch picking up his second foul will be the team's 6th. Nance back at the line. Nance his first, rattles around, no good. Coming into this game, Grant Nance shooting 58%. Chapman Ellis is going to be subbed out for the final 7 seconds of the quarter. He's going to be replaced by Aiden Wynn. Nance's second rolls around, no good. Boyd with possession, knifing his way through, creates some space, step back 3, leaves it just shy, rebounded by Wynn, and that's the way that we'll end the third quarter. So after 3 of play, it's Caldwell County 45, Webster County 41. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with the final fourth quarter of action. You're listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 The Tiger.
Jefferson Street is locally owned and operated with a strong, sincere focus on customer service. Planters Bank has a diverse team of seasoned professionals in Western Kentucky and Clarksville, Tennessee. Since first opening their doors, Planters Bank has made a name for itself as an energetic player in the financial services market. Stop by and talk to the friendly folks at Planters and find out about the You Choose Rewards program. Planters Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
And we're back here at the CAB building, fourth quarter coming up. In the third quarter, Webster County chips into the Tigers' 6-point lead at halftime by outscoring the Tigers 16-14 in the third quarter. Most of those points scored by Chapman Ellis, but if we stop him and slow him down, we've got a really, really excellent chance of winning this game.
And really, what a game to end tonight's action with. This has been a thrill of a game to watch. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of lead changes, and you couldn't ask for anything better. These are the types of games high school basketball is all about.
And the Trojans will inbound the ball aside midcourt, and for the call, here's Eric Jacobs.
Thanks, Bob. We are back in action for the final fourth quarter of play. Tigers holding on to a slim 45-41 lead. Webster County will look to cut into that with this first possession of the quarter. Ellis will hand off to Camplin. Camplin one-on-one with Trip Branch. Camplin looking to create some space, feeds it inside for Ellis, who lays it up, no good. Big man McNaughton able to pick that one up, and McNaughton's shot will drop. He'll be able to go to the line to try and make it a 3-point play. John Davis picking up the foul will be the team's 7th, Davis's 3rd. And sends McNaughton to the line to try and cut the deficit to 1. He'll do that with that free throw, and we've got a 45-44 game, 7:30 to go. That foul will put Webster County in the 1-1 from here on out in the ball game. Tigers in possession. Davis gets it to Branch. Branch back to Davis. Davis, 3-ball. This one rattles around, no good. That's going to be picked up by Douglas. Douglas in transition is going to drive left side of the lane, up and in. Webster County retakes the lead, 46-45. 7:03 to go in the fourth. I wouldn't really expect anything less the way that this game's been going. A lot of
little runs here and little runs there.
Caldwell County looking to retake the lead, down 1. Boyd in the corner, floats it to a wide open Trip Branch, steps inside the lane, puts it up, no good, but it's going to be fouled. See who the foul is credited to for the Trojans. Looks like that's going to go against 15 Hunter Camplin. Camplin will give Webster County their 4th team foul. Camplin picks up his 2nd. Trip Branch at the line for the Tigers. Branch is first, bounces around I think just about everything it could touch. Nice shooter's touch, gets it to fall.
I think it hit the iron 4 times before it
I think so. Branch is 2nd, steadies this one out, gets it to drop in the net. Tigers now back with the lead, 47-46, 6:38 to go in the game. Camplin across midcourt, gives it to McNaughton. McNaughton to Chapman Ellis, he'll hand it back off to Tyler Camplin. Camplin at the point, going to be met by Trip Branch as they look to work and break down this Tiger defense. Hunter Camplin to Tyler Camplin for 3, no good. Caden Frelick's able to snatch away the rebound, double teamed, able to split his way through that. Gets it to Branch. Branch open look for a jumper, can't get it to fall. McNaughton with the rebound. Webster County looking to retake the lead on this possession, down 1. Ellis will hold, he's met by Riley. Ellis looks to drive, a lot of contact, and that's going to be a charge against Chapman Ellis. John Davis, heads up play. Ellis picking up the foul on a smart play there by Davis. Saw that run being made, knew he was going to dish it off, but stood his ground, ate the contact, and puts Ellis in a little bit of foul trouble now with 3 fouls. 5:52 to go. Hopefully he's all right. Looked like he was shaken up a little. May have just had the breath knocked out of him. He still remains in the game. Tigers lead 47-46. Now in possession of the ball. Taking their time working it around the perimeter. Branch thinks about a 3 and said we'll kick it to Davis. Davis returns the favor. And Branch is going to be fouled as he holds. That foul going against Tyler Camplin will give Webster County their 6th team foul. Camplin will have his 2nd. Now Camplin will be subbed out of the game along with Skinner. They'll be replaced, or I'm sorry, Skinner enters into the game. The sub coming with Grant Nance entering into the game for the Trojans. Tigers still in possession of the ball after that foul. Camplin picking up his 2nd. Jameer Riley in the far right corner will hold, gets it to Blaine. Blaine to Branch. Branch over to Boyd, now to Frelick. They'll work it inside. Nice cutting run by Caden Frelick. Jameer Riley able to find him on the back door. He puts the reverse up for 2. Tigers now with a 3-point lead, 49-46. Just good team play there from the Tigers to make that connection. Loose ball. Big man McNaughton has it. And we're going to have a timeout be taken, be a 30-second from the Trojans. Bob, with 4:50 left to go, up 3. This really turns into, we always talk about basketball being a chess match. This even more so, a real-time chess match.
That would have been a nice turnover to grab there. Ball rolled around on the floor. We had our hands on it, just couldn't pick it up. And Webster County fortunate to get control and then call a quick timeout. And I think they've stretched it into a full, but we'll keep it here. Tigers with a 3-point lead, 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the ball game.
And this has really turned into an excellent game. And as we mentioned, a big week coming up for the Tigers next week, as they'll take on Madisonville North Hopkins on Tuesday at home, that being a varsity doubleheader. And then on Friday at Hopkins County Central, that being a varsity doubleheader as well. And if this is almost a game, it's always good to win regional games as well. But looking forward to that district, you've got to think this is an excellent tune-up for the Tigers, playing a skilled team and really playing well to this point.
Exactly. We have, I don't think, and the boys have a game next Saturday in Morganfield with Union County. I'm not sure that we'll probably won't cover that. Big week coming up, district matches, and we've got 4 minutes 50 seconds go, and here is the call of the game, Eric Jacobs.
Bob, we're back in action. Tigers maintaining a 3-point lead. Webster County with the ball. Ellis holds it at the point. We'll give it over left side to Nance. Nance brings the center. Tigers in a 2-3 zone. They work it to Hunter Camplin in the corner. Camplin trying to find somewhere to go, finds it in Nance. They'll play catch and then hand it to Ellis. Ellis right side of the arc will work it around all the way to the left, and now they'll return it back to the right in the corner for Chapman Ellis. Ellis finds some space, throws up a three, rattles around, no good. Jameer Riley able to pull that down, and Riley content to take his time as he brings the ball out of the backcourt. And the zone there on that possession looking really good for the Tigers, stifling any kind of breakdown Webster County was trying to create. Davis now on the left side is going to be met quickly by Nance, able to get it to Branch at the point. Davis holds, needs some help, finds it in Trip Branch. Branch right corner for Boyd. Boyd holds, looking for some movement, floats it back out to the point. Now left side of the circle for Davis. Davis holds, skips it to Riley. Riley drives baseline. Kareem's out of control, loses the ball. 2-on-1 fast break for Ellis. Pulls up left elbow. That jumper pure and in. We've got back to a 1-point game. Tigers still maintaining the lead, 49-48.
Chess match.
And this is one you've got to imagine is going to go down to the wire the way that it's been played. Boyd holds at the point, goes left side of the arc to Davis. Davis needs some help, finds it in Branch. Branch holds, and we are going to have a foul. Looks like that foul going to go against Jameer Riley. So Riley picking up his third foul. Tigers picking up his eighth. We're going to have a full timeout taken by the Tigers. With that timeout, we'll go ahead and take a 30-second break and then be back for the final 3 minutes and 4 seconds. You're listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
Board member for Community Medical Clinic located at 310 Hawthorne Street in Princeton. Community Medical Clinic's goal is to provide access to excellent health care services that are both convenient and affordable in our local community. Community Medical Clinic is taking new patients every day, and walk-ins are welcome. The clinic is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to serve you and your family members of all ages. All insurances are welcome, as well as patients with no insurance. Community Medical Clinic providing health care services at your convenience at no extra cost.
And welcome back here to the Cab. 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the ball game. Been a tight one, Eric.
Definitely.
Webster County will have possession of the ball when we come back on a turnover by the Tigers, or actually on a foul by the Tigers. Jameer picking up his third foul.
What do you think the chances are this one goes to overtime?
There's a great chance of it going overtime.
I'd say so. Both of these teams, two very evenly matched teams, play a lot of the same style. We're back in action. Webster with possession, down one. They go in the corner. A three put up by Douglas, no good. Gets his own rebound. Pressure comes off of him. Open jumper, no good. McNaughton gets the ball, and Trip Branch coming in, rips it away. Looks like the foul's going to be called, and I don't know about that one, Bob.
No, that ball was on the floor. It was loose.
That foul is going to go against Branch, and so that will send McNaughton to the line.
And he's the one we want up there. He's the one that has missed it 3 times today.
His first of the bonus, makes it connect. We've got a tie ball game. Have a substitution. Hunter Camplin's going to check into the game. He will replace Malachi Douglas. McNaughton hit his first, is rewarded with the second of the 1-and-1, has the opportunity to give Webster the lead. McNaughton's free throw up, gets this one to drop. Webster County retakes the lead, now up 50-49, 2:43 to go in the ball game. Davis will hand over to Boyd. Boyd working around the screen, goes to Trip Branch for three, no good. Davis with the rebound, up, has that ball stripped by McNaughton. Heads up play there by Trip Branch to swat that away from McNaughton after the block. Comes off of him, and Tigers will maintain possession, and McNaughton really bringing the hammer on that block. Tigers in possession, working around. Three put up by Boyd. That one tipped and then knocked out of the hands of John Davis. And they're going to say Davis last touches it. So we're going to have a sub that comes on. Looks like Douglas will check back into the game for Camplin for the Trojans. Trojans still up by 1 after that possession, 2:19 to go in the ball game. Tyler Camplin across midcourt, one-on-one with John Davis. Camplin holds, gets it to Douglas. He's met quickly by Boyd. Douglas got to get rid of that ball or dribble. He'll opt to take the second. Douglas now drives the lane, kicks it out to Tyler Camplin. Camplin, middle of the lane, up, no good, and a foul called. A little bit of contact there from Darian Boyd. Boyd will give the Tigers their 9th team foul, or 10th team foul, I should say. And that will be Boyd's first foul of the game. Tyler Camplin to step to the line for 2. Camplin's first, short, off the front of the iron. Still a 1-point game. Hunter Camplin checking in for Malachi Douglas. Tyler Camplin back at the line, 0 of 1 on this attempt. Connects with his second, extends the lead to 2. Tigers trail 51-49, a minute 53 to go in the fourth quarter. Davis across midcourt goes to Boyd. Boyd to Davis, they'll work it around the horn to Branch. Branch returns it, Boyd finds it, pull-ups at the left elbow, no good. Ellis with the rebound. Ellis content to take his time. He hands it off to Camplin, they bring it across midcourt. Camplin will hold, he's picked up by Boyd, he gets it to McNaughton. McNaughton, right side to Nance. Nance floats it in for McNaughton. Big man working his way into the lane. We're going to have a timeout taken by Webster County. See, I believe that is a full timeout. We'll go ahead and take another 30-second break and then be back for the last minute 17 of the game. You're listening to Tigers basketball here on your hometown station, 103.3 The Tiger.
Ice cold and refreshing soft drinks are still just $1 at McDonald's every day. That's the news, now the weather. Soft drink lovers at McDonald's report enjoying ice cold deliciousness. Also reported, chance of refreshment, 100%. Get any size soft drink for just $1, only at McDonald's. A la carte only, limited time offer at participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
And we're back here at the cab. 1 minute, 17 seconds remaining in the ball game. Webster County with a 2-point lead. The Tigers will be in possession of the ball and will bring it the length of the court. Can't make any mistakes from this point on.
Not at all.
Have to handle the ball well.
A tight one.
Hopefully get a couple shots to fall in the meantime.
Coming back from this.
Actually, Webster County's ball that was on that.
Webster will be in possession. Camplin to inbound, gets it to Hunter Camplin, who'll give it to Chapman Ellis. Ellis holds a minute 13. Jameer Riley will pick him up. Ellis working around Riley, and we're going to have a foul called on McNaughton. McNaughton tried to set the pick, moved a little on that one, and so a good break if you're Caldwell County, now in possession of the ball, down 2, a minute 6 left in the game. Davis to Boyd. They'll work it around to Branch. Branch holds, gives it to Boyd. Boyd working around the screen, drives the lane, kicks it to Davis. Thinks about a three, will opt to bring it back to the point himself. 48 seconds. Davis right side to Branch. Branch holds, tries to feed it. Tip pass picked up by Davis. Good break there for the Tigers. Davis skips it across to Branch. He'll return it. Davis holds, 33 seconds. And to the right corner is Riley. We're going to have a full timeout taken. And with that timeout, we'll go ahead and take one more 30-second break and be back for your final 31.9 seconds of the game. You're listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 The Tiger.
Offers diagnosis for a variety of sleep problems, including sleep apnea. 1 in every 5 Americans have significant sleep difficulties, which, when diagnosed properly, can be successfully treated. A few symptoms of sleep disorders include fatigue, morning headaches, impotence, frequent urination, irritability, memory loss, high blood pressure, and loud snoring. If you have some of these symptoms, we may be able to help you identify and treat them before they cause more serious health conditions. Caldwell Medical Center offers studies in lab and in your home depending on your insurance company's requirements. Call 270-365-200 for more information.
And we're back here at the cap, 31.9 seconds remaining. Tigers still in their huddle, as well as Webster County.
We talked about it a little off air. What do you look for in this situation? Because you've got a couple options. Fortunate enough to be in possession of the ball, down 2. And so with 31 seconds, do you try and find that open look for a 3 or play it safe and try and knot it up?
If you got a shot at a 2, you take it. If you got a shot at a 3, you take it too, Eric. And then kind of, if we miss, we're going to have to foul quickly.
We're back in action, 28 seconds. Tigers in possession of the ball.
I would think that we would not want to try to freeze it or.
Davis to Fralix. Fralix drives up, contact, and that's going to be a charge. We're going to have a charge called on Caden Fralix. Unfortunate call for the Tigers. Fralix doing everything in his power to get in, had the basket dropped, and instead unlucky to get that call. We're going to have a substitution. Tyler Camplin will come out, or will join the Trojans on the floor. He will replace Grant Nance. Tigers trail by 2, 19.1 seconds. Trojans in possession. They get it to Ellis. Riley on him. They're going to force him in a foul by Davis. Will send Chapman Ellis to the line for Webster County, and just a tough break for the Tigers on that one. Always a tough call to make on that blocker charge, and this time just doesn't go the Tigers' way.
That's what happened over in the first game. Jameer came in and took the lead with about 8 seconds to go, and they called that a charge as well. So very similar basketball games.
Ellis will be able to shoot 2. So they're now in the double bonus. Ellis, very consistent free throw shooter. At the line, his first up. Leaves this one short, so a break for the Tigers, as his first one does not connect. Some high pressure free throw shooting here. Second is up, able to connect on this one. A 3-point game now. 15.2 seconds, ball in the hands of Boyd. And we're going to have a timeout taken by the Tigers. And so this is almost deja vu from the first meeting between these two.
Almost about the same score.
Tigers down by 3, 11.1 seconds left in the game. We're fortunate Ellis missed his first on the double bonus, and so the Tigers still hanging in this thing with the opportunity to try and knot it up. As we mentioned, the last time they met, pretty similar game. The Trojans won that one 64-61. This one 52-49. And so if you're Coach K here, we got to draw something up to try and get an open look at a 3. And with the way that we've been shooting tonight, definitely not out of the question to hit a 3 to tie this thing up.
Wouldn't it be great if we could hit the 3 and draw a foul?
That would be the ultimate.
That's really thinking outside the box.
It's a lot of positive thinking. Tigers to inbound, 10 seconds. Davis with the ball. Davis holds 6 seconds. Davis into the corner for Fralix. 3, count it! Caden Fralix, ice in his veins, hits the 3. We're tied up. 2.2 seconds remaining. And what a shot from the sophomore, Caden Fralix. Fantastic shooting, looked good when it left its hands. And what a shot. What a play for the Tigers. Knotted up at 52 apiece with 2.2 seconds. Absolutely clutch.
What we don't want to do now is something silly and stupid.
And what a shot. That's a big-time shot by a young player for the Tigers, in Caden Fralix.
He just keeps getting better and better and better. This team as well.
Hanging in on this one. As we mentioned, a lot of deja vu this time changed. Had the opportunity to tie it up in the last meeting and couldn't do it on this one. The Tigers with a beautiful shot by the sophomore Caden Fralix ties it up at 52 apiece. Although not quite out of the woods yet, Webster County will have a possession with 2.2 seconds.
What you don't want them to do is throw a 3/4 of the length pass. You want them to handle the ball coming up the floor. And they've got 4 men back here in front court.
And the key in this one, as you mentioned, nothing silly, no fouls. Cannot afford a foul on this one.
We've got a guard, Cole Smiley's in the game, and he'll be defending the...
Get some height. This ball's floated high. Ellis picks it up, turns, shoots. That went off the mark, and we are headed to overtime here in Caldwell County. What a game between these two. We'll go ahead and take a minute break, and then we'll bring it back for the overtime. You've been listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
This is Jack from First Southern National Bank. I'm excited to share I'm moving my office to our Princeton branch. That means the next time you're looking for a loan, whether big or small, you've got another convenient First Southern location to choose from. Be sure to stop by to see us the next time you're in town. First Southern National Bank has 2 branches in Caldwell County, 1013 West Main and 101 West Washington Street. Visit us online at www.fsmb.net. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409-424, NMLS 1628379.
It is time to update Penrod Electric member information. Update your member information on your monthly statement, or call Penrod Electric with the update information by April 30th, and be automatically eligible for 5 cash prizes of $100 and 20 billing credits of $50. But don't wait. Update by April 30th to be eligible to win cash prizes of $100, 5 of those, and Penrod Electric bill credits of $50, 20 of those. Update now with Penrod Electric, a Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And
we're back. Take it.
So for this overtime, tip is up. Ball is won by the Tigers. Tigers able to force overtime with the last second 3 put in by Caden Fralix. We're all knotted up at 52 apiece. These overtimes in high school basketball, 4 minutes apiece.
Tigers getting great play out of their freshman Trip Branch here for the last quarter and a half.
Tigers with the ball. They get it to Fralix. Fralix, the man who knotted it up with 2.2 seconds left. Tigers content to hold, being patient to look for a good opportunity to shoot. Ball in the hands of Boyd. They go right side to Branch. Thinks about a 3, instead gives it in the corner to Riley. Riley met by Hunter Camplin. He'll flip it back out to Branch, who gives it to Davis. Davis holds back to Branch, 3-10. Now Tigers working around. Fralix has it, kicks it out to Davis. Thinks about a 3, instead will reset it back to the point and hold. Davis needs to find some help, finds it in Fralix, who floats it back up high for Branch. Zips it into the corner for Boyd. Boyd back to Davis. Davis hard pass to Branch, able to hang on to that one and return it back to him at the point. Tigers doing a nice job of staying patient. Boyd working his way through and draws a foul. He will go to the line for the 1-and-1. So Boyd with the opportunity to give the Tigers the lead here in this overtime ball game. And you got to think, if you want anyone at the line for the Tigers, it's got to be Darren Boyd. This one goes off the mark. Chapman Ellis comes crashing in for the board. Webster County now in possession, looking to break the gridlock. 2:37 to go. Camplin will hold. Backs it up to midcourt. Looks to work around a screen. He's picked up by Riley. They get it inside to McNaughton. Hunter Camplin to Chapman Ellis. Ellis in the lane, kicks it out. 3 put up, nails it. That 3 put up by Malachi Douglas Webster now up by 3, 2:12 to go in this overtime. Boyd over to Davis. Davis will hold, gets it to Branch. Branch back to Davis, in the corner to Riley. Riley trying to find room to penetrate, not there, gets it back to Boyd. Boyd to Riley in the corner. His pass is tipped. Davis chases it into the backcourt, heads up play as Ellis goes sliding by him. Riley, open look for three, ball's up, knocks it up. Jameer Riley able to put that one away, and we are squared back up at 55 apiece. Both teams shooting lights out from beyond the arc.
A big time to get his first three of the evening.
And what a ball game we have here at the Cab in this 6th, 7th District Challenge. Ball swung out to Hunter Camplin, spins inside, throws it up off the mark. Caden Fralix comes away with the rebound. Fralix content to take his time across midcourt. A minute 14 remaining in the overtime. We're knotted up 55 apiece. Comes left side for Branch. Branch's pass tipped, corralled by Boyd, gets it to Riley. Riley corner to Davis, three ball, leaves it shy. Ball skips around, trip, Branch picks it up, gives the Tigers a 2-point lead. Freshman in a good position, able to put that one up and in. Ellis looking to answer. Ellis' shot off the mark, picked up by Boyd. Boyd will hold 44 seconds. Boyd gets it across to Davis. Davis is going to be fouled. And a good turn of events for the Tigers. John Davis now going to be sent to the line for the 1-and-1 with an opportunity to make this a 3-point lead for the Tigers. His first up and in, he'll be rewarded with 2. Bob, this is a big free throw right here.
Big one, it gets it into a 2-possession game.
Davis, ball up, count it. John Davis extends it to a 2-possession game. Tigers lead 59-55. Got to play smart defense here. 33 seconds. Camplin will hold, gives it right side to Chapman Ellis. Ellis drives up, off the glass and in. We have a foul, and that's going to be a block and count it. Oh, and another unfortunate event. It's a judgment call. Maybe he sees it better than I do, but from here it looked like Davis had his feet set. Coaching staff for the Tigers not too happy with that call. I'll give them credit keeping composure on that one.
We do not need a technical right now.
No, and that's a smart play from the bench. Sends Ellis to the line, can make it a 1-point ball game. Shot by Ellis up, leaves it shy. Boyd will rebound. Boyd holds 22 seconds. Going to be double teamed, floats it for Trip Branch, and Branch is going to be fouled. Ellis couldn't hit that shot, and so Trip Branch going to the line for some big-time free throws for the Tigers.
At least he gets 2. That's their 10th foul.
So he will be in the double bonus, has the opportunity to make it a 3-point, potentially a 2-possession game. Branch is first up, pure free throw shot. Trip Branch able to make it a 3-point game.
Great effort tonight by this young freshman. Has 5 points so far. She's looking for his 6th point
and a
4-point Tiger lead.
Not many opportunities coming into this game. It only shot 4 free throws. Hits both of his. Makes it a 2-possession game, 16 seconds. Camplin drives, throws it up, fouled, no good. And that will send Camplin to the line for 2 with 12.4 seconds. Fortunate for the Tigers, that ball doesn't drop. And so Camplin able to step up and try and make it a 2-point game.
And that's Tripp's 4th foul.
Camplin, ball up, too strong, off the iron, no good. Lots of calls from the Caldwell County bench of being smart off this next free throw. Box out, play clean. Camplin to take his 2nd. Ball's up, gets it to drop. It's a 61-58 game, 12.4 seconds. Davis to inbound, gets it to Riley, and Riley's fouled. Looks like that foul will go against Aiden Wynn. Jameer Riley will step to the line to take 2. 2 big free throws here from the junior. Opportunity to once again extend that lead to 2 possession.
What we need is one of the two. That's 2 would be nice.
Riley steps up. Jim goes dead silent for these. Riley's first. Rattles around, no good. So Riley will step back up with a 3-point lead, has the opportunity to make it a 2-possession game with this one with 10.9 seconds. Riley from the line, surveys, up, in. And a big-time free throw there, hit by Jameer Riley.
Big time.
We've got a full timeout taken. We'll go ahead and take one more 30-second break and be back for the final 10 seconds of the overtime. You're listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 The Tiger.
Family-owned propane company offering services in Princeton, Cadiz, Madisonville, and Murray. Right now, Porter Gas is offering specials on propane. Porter Gas offers Holland and Napoleon grills, Dixie choppers, and they also have Red Max weed eaters. Contact Porter Gas Company today for all of your residential, commercial, and agricultural propane needs. Porter Gas Company, a family tradition of service since 1951.
And we're back here at the cab. 10.9 seconds remaining in the ball game in overtime. The Tigers in possession of the basketball. Excuse me. Webster County will inbound the ball and it's come the length of the court. Jameer Riley just finishing, making 1 out of 2 from the charity stripe, and a 4-point lead here is huge, Eric. And I would think we'd want to pressure the ball a little bit.
Think so. This being a key again, just playing smart, keeping a level head. You're in a good position. Up 4 with 10 seconds. Webster now back in possession of the ball. It's inbounded to Ellis. Ellis's pass is going to be intercepted by Boyd. Boyd with a statement. Tries to throw down a dunk and misses it. It's going to be bailed out. It looks like Malachi Douglas is going to step on the line. And Boyd went for the big-time dunk to make a exclamation on the game. Instead has it come off the rim. And with 1 second left, Jameer Riley throws it up, caught by Boyd, and that is the way we will end the game. So Caldwell County splitting the regular season series with Webster County 1-1, comes away with a big-time overtime victory, 62-58. We'll go ahead and take a 3-minute break and then be back with your postgame. You're listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 The Tiger.
This is Carol at the Woodall Agency at 110 West Washington Street in the heart of downtown Princeton. Our agency is proud to have been a part of this community since 1907. We want you to come by and see us soon. We may be able to save you some money on your home, auto, motorcycle, or mobile home insurance. We offer discounts for good students, multi-policy, safe drivers, and many more. We appreciate our loyal customers, and we will work hard to make you feel like part of the Woodall Agency family. Call me today at 365-5541.
Hi, folks. It's me, Colonel Sanders. My KFC $20 fill-up includes a whole bucket of delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, 2 sides of mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, and 4 flaky biscuits for just $20. It'll feed 4 people. And it comes with a free bucket. And every time you use that bucket, you'll be reminded of how delicious that meal was. Now that's fact. KFC, it's finger-licking good. And participating KFCs for a limited time. Prices may vary. Tax extra. Extra charge for breast piece and side item substitution may apply. Offer includes 8-piece chicken, 3 large sides, 4 biscuits.
Here at McGregor Group Heating and Air, we are so proud to be a part of this community. We want to thank you for the opportunity to serve you for all your heating and air needs. McGregor Group Heating and Air specializes in residential, new construction, and light commercial installation, also servicing most makes and models. We offer fast service with polite and friendly staff. We provide customers with a peace of mind by offering the best warranties in the industry, along with high-quality products. McGregor Group Heating and Air is located at 960 Varmint Trace here in Princeton. Give us a call today at 270-896-5044. We're the company that you can take comfort in.
Have you been a victim of debit or credit card fraud? Farmers Bank and Trust can help lessen your risk of getting taken advantage of. As our customer, you have exclusive access to a security feature in our app that will allow you to turn your debit card off while you're not using it, then turn it on instantly when you need to use it. Keep your information safe. Log into our free app to use this feature, increasing the security of your information right now. Not a Farmers Bank customer? Come down. Let us set up your account and start protecting you from potential fraud opportunities. This is not a guarantee that your information will not be compromised. This is an increased security measure. Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
And welcome back to the Cab, where it is post-game. Tigers pulling out a big second region win, 62-58 in overtime over the Webster County Trojans. And what was a back-and-forth exciting game got knotted up in the final 2 seconds by Caden Freilic's three-point shot, and from there the Tigers were able to fully take the lead and end the game on a high note, splitting the season series 1-1 with the Trojans. Overall, a fantastic game played by the Tigers as they improve their record to 7-7. Now sitting at 500 on the season, knocking off the team that currently sits in first in the region at 12-4 with Webster County. And a big-time win by the Tigers. A lot of that's got to be credited to the team play, the unselfishness, and then just never giving up with those lead changes. And what a game, Bob.
It was a fantastic game. And the overtime, obviously, Caldwell County wins the overtime 10-6 to have the 4-point victory here, 62-58. Very similar game to what we experienced over in Providence. We just didn't get the tie there to send that game into overtime. But tonight we did get the tie, and the scoring for the Tigers, and we anticipate maybe Coach K.
He's on his way up. Okay. I think he's coming around the stairs now.
And John Davis leads the Tigers tonight in scoring 17 points. Darian Boyd 15, and we'll go ahead and let Eric conduct the interview, and we'll go over the rest of the stats after the interview. We're
joined now by head coach Daniel Kukihiko, and a heck of a game. Congratulations on a big overtime win.
Thank you. That
is an exciting game to watch. I know a lot going on during that, but one of the big things we wanted to get your take on, really some excellent shooting from beyond the arc tonight.
We shot the ball well. I'm not sure, it was 3 or 4 in a row that John made there in the first half, and he can shoot, and he needs to do more of that. We'll just say it makes my job easier if we do more of that.
And so got to talk a little bit about John Davis hitting those threes, but then down by 3, a couple seconds left, gets it into the hands of Caden Freilich, and Freilich only a sophomore hitting a big-time shot.
I wish I could say it was exactly the way we drew it up, but bottom line, the player just made a play. They made a play. Stepped up there, confidence, and knocked down the shot. And we talked about that after the game, that, in the overtime, we found a way to win, found a way to make free throws down the stretch. But we don't get that opportunity if we don't execute something and get a shot there at the end to go up or to tie the game.
And wanted to get your take on, I know one of the big staples of this team is really that teamwork. Me and Bob talked about it up here, that it seems like whenever we play together as a team, a lot better things happen. And so just kind of wanted to get your take on how you thought the team played as a whole tonight.
I thought the first half we did a good job of playing as a team. I think there was 2 spurts there, and then the second half, early, mid-third quarter, where we kind of got away, maybe tried to be a little bit too, I don't know if it was passive or if it was too fancy, whatever the word there. We just got away from what we were doing to get us the lead. And that's when they went on their, I think, 9-0 run. And but we found a way to get it back, and we just kept fighting, which is one thing I've said about this team for all season long, is that the resiliency and them finding a way to continue when we get punched in the mouth. And Webster County is a solid basketball team. They're a 12-win team already at this point in the year, which is pretty phenomenal. But just, finding a way to make plays down the stretch and win.
And so looking forward a little bit, I know we have played 1 district game already, or 1-0 in the district, but a big week coming up this week with both Madisonville North and Hopkins Central. So how as a coach, do you take a big overtime win like this and keep that momentum rolling into next week?
Well, we gotta keep that momentum with us and keep it rolling, but at the same time, we gotta kind of catch our breath a little bit and let it feed us. We can't come in and think that that just because we went to overtime and won the game before, that Madisonville is or Central's going to take it easy on us. We're going to have to grind it out every single game we play and every single possession, and hopefully our guys, understand that. When we do that, I like us against anybody.
And so just kind of final thing, I know going into these district games, just kind of wanted, we talked to Coach Thomas about it prior or to this game, but kind of get your take on how you think the district is shaping up so far and kind of what your expectations are as far as district play goes.
I just want to compete every night. In our district, in the state, everybody's fortunate we go to the postseason, but I want to compete every night. And I want to start on Tuesday night. Madisonville, Coach Bashir over there has got a solid basketball team. We got to go over there and we got to bring it. And then we got to do the same thing on Friday night against Hopkins Central, and just building all of this. One thing I think I mentioned it earlier, but some of the big plays we made down the stretch was being strong with the basketball and then knocking our free throws down. I think we were 5 of 6 there when they were started to foul, and I told the guys in the locker room, if we don't make those 5 or 6 free throws, we go 1 for 6, maybe the outcome is different. So props to them for stepping up. I think it was Tripp, John, Darian, Jameer, Kate, whoever else was up there, did a good job of stepping up and making those shots.
And that's one thing I forgot to mention, but wanted to give a shout out. Tripp Branch getting a lot of minutes coming into this game and really had a heck of a game, especially for just being a freshman and making such an impact.
Well, that was his 3rd game today. Our freshman played this morning against Trigg and Livingston and got 2 big wins this morning. So he's played a lot of minutes today, we'll say that. So, but he did a good job just like the rest of the team.
Definitely. And so, Coach, we thank you for coming up here. Congratulations again on a big-time victory. I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job and looking forward, excited for a big week of basketball coming up.
Me too. Thanks.
Thank you so much. We're joined by head coach Daniel Kukihiko as the Tigers pull out a big win in overtime, 62-58 over the Webster County Trojans. This being a game that sets the Tigers up going into next week for some big-time district games. Those games coming against Madisonville, North Hopkins on Tuesday, and then Hopkins County Central on Friday. We'll get Bob back and situated. We'll go through some of our stats and get you wrapped up for the evening.
As we were saying before Coach K made his way up here, the Tigers tonight led by John Davis, 17 points, a big 14 in the first half, 3 in the second half. 15 points for Darren Boyd, 11 coming in the first half and 4 in the second half. And that's where this game is really pretty. Eric, the 2 leading scorers in the first half, only put 7 points up on the board of the 31 the Tigers got in the second half. So that is just reminiscent of great team play.
Definitely.
and where everybody can do their part and everybody can score. And we do have a lot of people that can score on this team. 9 points for Caden Fralix, the biggest one coming on the three-pointer to end the game, or to send the game in the overtime. He had 4 points in the first half, 5 in the second half. 6 points for Tripp Branch, all coming in the second half, and a tremendous play on his part in the game. 1 field goal, 4 out of 4 at the free throw line for a freshman in this kind of competition, this kind of stress. Hats off to him for an outstanding game. Jameer Riley with 6 points, none in the first half, 6 in the second half. 5 points for Jamarius Blaine, his 5 points coming in the second half when we needed him. 2 points for Darius Riley, that coming in the second half, that was huge. And 2 points for Seth Scott, that coming in the first half. Total of 31 points in the overtime and the second half for the Tigers, total of 62. And for Webster County, they placed 3 men in double figures, but the man who put up 27 tonight, Chapman Ellis, 9 in the first half, 18 in the second half. And it was crucial that we kept him out of the game in the second quarter, because he came back and played well from that point on. 13 points for Malachi Douglas, 10 points for Hunter McNaughton, who hurt us inside. And then the scoring drops off to 4 players with 2 points each. Tyler Camplin with 2, Drew Skinner with 2, Grant Nance with 2, and I'll find my place here. Aiden Wynn with 2. Too many lines on here. They placed 2, 4, 8 people in the scoring column, but only able to put up 58 points tonight. So, and this is another stat that helped the Tigers out tonight. Webster County only 12 out of 21 from the free throw line, and they were shooting 72% coming into the game. So
makes a difference.
It does make a difference. The Tigers 12 out of 17, which is about their average, and the crucial free throws coming with John Davis in the fourth quarter. Also Trip Branch in the overtime, and Jameer's 1 out of 2 in overtime kept us in the lead and obviously enabled us to win this basketball game.
Definitely, and a big-time win for the Tigers. As we mentioned, they split the series 1-1 with the Webster County Trojans. Tigers come away with a 62-58 victory. That puts them at 7-7 on the season. It drops Webster County to 12-5 on the season. As we mentioned, we have a big-time week of basketball coming up. On Tuesday night, we'll have a varsity doubleheader with Madisonville North Hopkins, the Maroons making their trip down to Caldwell County. And then on Friday, we'll be on the road in Morton's Gap going to Hopkins County Central to see another varsity doubleheader and another 7th District showdown. So start to see a little bit clearer of a picture as to how things are going to shake up for that postseason tournament. But overall, a big-time week coming up.
District week is ahead of us, that's for sure.
Definitely, and so we definitely invite you to come out, support these guys in person. If you can't make it in person, definitely fortunate to be able to bring the games to you because of our sponsors. You can always check us out listening locally on 103.3 FM, or check us out on the live stream by going to www.wpkyonline.com, or simply going to YouTube and searching WPKY. Should pop you up fine just there. So to wrap things up tonight, Caldwell County improving to 500 on the season after a big 62-58 victory in overtime over Webster County. As we mentioned, we will be back in action on Tuesday, bringing you all the action from the cab. So signing off for tonight, this has been Eric Jacobs alongside Bob Hayes and Ty Englebright, bringing you all the action. We wish you a safe weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday. You've been listening to Tigers basketball here on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.